Hey guys, this is Alan Moore, Certified Financial Planner and founder of Serenity Financial Consulting. Thanks for joining me. Today we're going to talk about a couple of different ways to track your spending. Now, you may know from previous videos and posts that I believe tracking your spending is the secret to achieving financial success, whatever financial success means to you. So it's incredibly important, in my opinion, to be tracking your spending. So I want to give you a couple of different ways that you can try out to see what works best for you. The first way, and probably the most common, is using an online tool. Mint.com is a great example of one. There are several others. There's many others actually. They generally are free. Like Mint.com gets paid based on advertising and whenever you buy products through their system, but the actual use of the product is free. Mint.com will basically download all of your transactions from your bank accounts, your credit card, debit card, all of those expenses, and kind of aggregate them in one place so that you can see where your money is going. This is a really neat tool. If you're not comfortable with your information being stored on the internet, then it may not be right for you. But if you're already using online banking and those types of services, then you probably will be comfortable with it. Mint.com and other online tools aren't the best at tracking cash expenses. So if you take $20 out of the ATM or you just have cash that you get and you spend, it's not tracking that because it's not coming through your bank account that it's automatically downloading. So you actually have to enter those expenses manually. Now they've released some apps. Most of the programs now have smartphone apps, so that makes it a little easier, but you do have to manually type that in. So it's just something to be aware of if you primarily use cash for your spending. The second way is to manually track your expenses. This is the way we've been doing it for a long time until aggregators like Mint.com came along. But if you're somebody who really likes the detail and really likes the information and enjoys, sitting down and writing it down, then this may work really well for you. You can use a spreadsheet, like with Excel. You can use the ledger in the back of your checkbook. Wherever is convenient for you to write down those expenses. You can basically save all your receipts, put them in a central place, and come to them later, and type them in your spreadsheet. Whatever's going to work for you. But basically, you're going to be manually entering those transactions, and just try and sort them by different categories like restaurants, groceries, gas, that type of thing, so that you know where you're spending your money. The third way is actually a budgeting tool. But it's called the bucket system. So the bucket system is whenever you set up bank accounts or envelopes or something to hold money for different expenses. So the first way I want to talk about is the envelope method, in which case you would basically literally get an envelope, write on it the category of expense. So let's say restaurants. So you take an envelope, you write restaurants on it. At the beginning of the month, you put cash into that envelope for how much you plan on spending on restaurants for the month. Well, if you do this for all of your expenses, at the end of the month, you can see exactly how much you spent on each category by seeing how much money is left in each envelope. And if you have to put additional money in, so let's say you only budgeted $100 for gas, but you spent $200, well, when you're putting additional money into that envelope, just write it down, and so you'll be able to kind of evaluate how much you spent. The other way is to do a little bit more broad, budgeting, which is usually what I recommend. So, for instance, you could have one bank account set up for your fixed expenses like mortgage payments, insurance premiums, those things that recur monthly or quarterly that you know are coming. So money goes into it every month. You could have a bank account for your savings, so all of your short-term, medium, long-term goals that you're saving money for on a monthly basis. So have all of it go into one. And then have a final bucket for your variable expenses. So this is groceries, haircuts, gas, all of those expenses that, daily, weekly kind of expenses. And again, at the end of the month, you can look at it and basically just see, where did you spend your money? How much did you spend? So the most important thing is that you find a method that works for you. If it's not convenient, if it's not comfortable, if it's not something that's easy to do, you're probably not going to do it. So just try out the different systems, see what works for you, because one way or the other, you definitely want to find a way to track your spending in a way that you'll actually do it. Well, that's all I have for today. Definitely feel free to share in the comment section below. Thanks so much.